Hi there everyone, William Quang here and
I'm Gemma.
from the Hill Pain Clinics of Adelaide and also the SA Running Injury Clinic. So today we're going to talk about the three types of pain in the Achilles. So Gemma, what are the three types?
So one of the types is called mid-substance Achilles tendinopathy. So generally it's around this mid area of where the Achilles is. The next one is your insertional Achilles, so just in this lower and the attachment point of the Achilles. And then the last one being that retrocalcaneal bursitis.
Hey Sean, how are you? Yeah, so retro is the one that's on the back of the heel, insertional is slightly lower, and the one that most people think of when we say Achilles injuries is actually in that band on the back. So they're the types. Now, Gemma, what symptoms do we get particularly with the first two, the Achilles tendinosis of the mid-substance and the insertion?
So generally it's fairly similar to things like plantar heel pain. So that first few steps in the morning, getting up after you've been sitting for a while, generally when doing some type of activity as well, and then after that activity, but not during particularly.
Yeah, it's usually probably the warm-up's pretty nasty, and then once you cool down. Yeah, whilst retro is quite different, isn't it? Retrocalcaneal bursitis is quite different.
It is a little bit different. It's kind of that more constant pain, especially in shoes, a lot of people find, especially if they have that hard backing at the back of their shoes. That tends to make it a lot worse, so they tend to find relief from shoes like thongs or slingbacks that don't have anything rubbing against the back.
Yeah, so retrocalcaneal bursitis, the telltale sign's that big bump on the back of the heel, isn't it?
It is that really big, red, kind of almost that bony kind of lump that a lot of people find that they have there.
Yeah. So for the first two, the two Achilles tendinoses, mid-substance and insertional, what do we usually do for it, Gemma?
So we can do things like strapping it, shockwave, laser, exercises, strengthening, not so much stretching for it. Other things, the shoes are a really good option as well, so changing up of that footwear, making sure it isn't too flat to the ground as well. And probably the last one will probably be something like an insert or an orthotic into the shoe as well.
Yeah, so but good news for the ladies who like a bit of a slightly higher heel there. Now, one thing I'd like to mention, could I just grab that?
Yeah.
Particularly with the insertional Achilles tendinosis, the one that's down here. One thing that I've seen over the last couple of years is that it gets actually quite irritated by an exercise that a lot of practitioners, physios, podiatrists, chiropractors give, and that's the one where they get you to do a step off the step, so your heel is actually over the edge and dropping quite a fair way down. We do find that actually gives a lot of compressional force to the Achilles. It's actually not too bad for the mid-substance. It's pretty good. It's really good for that, but not so much because of that compression component to the insertional type of exercise. How about treatment for retrocalcaneal?
So it's more about that pressure deflection, probably change in footwear as well. So still making sure it's firm, but not too firm that it's holding at the back. But yeah, probably really that pressure deflection is the main kind of treatment that I would generally recommend.
Yeah, and also retrocalcaneal bursitis actually gets misdiagnosed quite often with insertional Achilles tendonitis. So we recently saw one of Tiana's friends who was a good level hockey player, and they diagnosed her with insertional Achilles tendonitis. So she had dry needling, I think a bit of shockwave, taping and inserts, and it didn't make a difference. Unfortunately with this one, retrocalcaneal, you have to actually get an ultrasound scan to sort of determine if that's the actual cause, and a lot of the time, unfortunately, you do actually have to just get a little small bit of surgery where they chisel off the back of the bone and make that bone a bit smaller. Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much our little spiel on the three types of pain in the Achilles and at the back of the heel. This Thursday, I'm just going to go through, I've seen a few cases of some mistakes that some practitioners have done with the shockwave machine. The shockwave machine is sort of this big wave that's actually come in the last 3 or 4 years, and lots of practitioners, physios, chiropractors are really jumping onto it. Actually, I just saw one just after lunch. I had a person diagnosed with patellar tendonitis, and they used it for it, and it was the wrong injury. Yeah. So there's another case. Yeah, we're going to talk about 3 recent mistakes that I've seen. I might make it 4. I just realised that there was one only 2 hours ago. All right, guys. If you have any friends who have problems on the back of the Achilles, back of the heel, Like this post, share and tag them in. We'd love to hear from them. Have a great day.
See ya.
See ya.